Welcome, Aquarius, to your September 2023 reading. This is going to be for Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Some of you are intuitively guided. Thank you for paying attention to your intuition. That comes directly from your guides. Some of you may be in love with an Aquarius. If that's the case, understand that your guides know that, and you'll be getting messages for yourself. Or you could have plans in a sign of Aquarius. Whatever brought you, welcome. We're going to go ahead and just get right into your reading. We're going to use 3 different decks. Of course, we're going to start with Mother Mary. We're going to use the Gilded Tarot to clarify or go deeper. And a deck I just love for you is the Psychic Tarot. So we're going to use that today. But let's go ahead and start with Mother Mary. I'm going to give him a shuffle. Everything's pre-shuffled, but I do like to shuffle with you here also. So let's give it a couple shuffles. Just give him a cut. And let's begin. Aquarius. Whoa. Okay. Wow. That one came face up, so we're going to take it. And, ooh, miracle. Yes, we're going to take it. Miracle. I trust in God to know the perfect solution to this situation. Miracle. I trust in God to know the perfect solution to this situation. I can't believe I just remembered that whole line. To me, that means that you're dealing with something and that some type of miracle is on its way. You know, when I say miracle, sometimes, yes, it's just a miracle. It's like, wow. But a lot of times I feel like it's because you deserve it. It's because you've put in effort, time, work, whatever it may be on yourself or in a project. Maybe there's an energy that you would like to eliminate, let's say, and I feel like God's got you covered on all avenues. So we'll see why this came up, but it'll come out in our reading, but we're going to read it from the book at the end of the reading. That is where it's most profound. I'm going to bring this down a little bit. And let's go ahead and start with your tarot reading. The tarot portion, I mean. Again, pre-shuffle. Let's give him a cut. And let's see what's going on. My daughter has an Aquarius moon. My brother is an Aquarius, was an Aquarius. Who else? My daughter's ex was an Aquarius, is an Aquarius. I feel like I'm forgetting someone. I don't know. Okay. We're going to shuffle for your cards, by the way. Sometimes I get the urge just to pull off the top of the deck. Many times it's shuffling is what I prefer. Well, hello. I like this a lot, especially with miracle. And then you have fulfillment of wishes. This is the 9 of Cups. Fulfillment of wishes. So, Mother Mary says there's a miracle coming your way. And your very first card says it's going to be some type of fulfillment. It is some type of a wish. 9 of Cups to me is inner harmony. So whatever is heading your way is going to be bringing you a sense of inner harmony. Along with maybe something else. Let's continue. We have financial and material changes. Financial and material changes. I get this feeling some of you, probably not a lot, but I feel like some of you may be moving, and you might just be finding that perfect place I don't know why I'm picking that up, but I feel like I'm walking into different homes, and maybe I've been doing it for a while, and then I walk into this one, and I'm like, this is it. This is it. This is my home. Maybe this is giving you an opportunity to purchase that home or to purchase something. This could talk about a new job. It is a 5, so it is change. But I don't feel like it's bad change. I feel like it's a good change, especially with fulfillment of wishes right beside it. Could be a job offer. Could just be a way to help you make a change that you've been wanting to make. Maybe, you know, I didn't have the finances to start with. We have the 3 swords. Okay. And look at this. And then we have material and spiritual prosperity. You know what I feel like, Aquarius? I feel like some of you, because this 3 swords kind of doesn't fit, right? It doesn't fit right this moment. However, I feel like, because if we look at the 3 swords, this is heartache that's already taken place, right? I've already taken those 3 daggers to the heart. But maybe now it's moving me in a different direction. I feel like your finances are a big thing this month, and I've been getting that with quite a few signs. Like this may be the month where we're starting to see the fruits of our labor. I mean, we're moving into fall, right? So think back to the seeds that you've planted, let's just say like in spring, and you may be seeing those seeds blossoming in the month of September and moving forward. You know, this isn't just in September, like all wrapped up in one month. It's the beginning of something that feels like it's going to change your life, to be honest. So I feel like this 3 swords is energy. It's old energy, but I feel like because of that, it may have, I don't want to say forced you, but you may have made certain changes because of that, even if I didn't want to. This is showing you that sometimes, you know, just moving forward is enough for divine, right? It's enough. That's all we need you to do, is just take a step forward. So you move from financial and material changes to material and spiritual prosperity. How quick is that? Fulfillment of wishes. 3 swords is the only thing that doesn't fit right now. But I have a feeling it may be one of the most important cards here, because I have a feeling without that energy, and I know, like, who wants to go through that, right? Who wants to go through heartache? However, I feel like sometimes it is the heartache that moves us in a different direction. So let's see. Let's keep going. But so far, other than that 3 swords, or yeah, 3 swords, wow. Things are happening. Blessings are coming to fruition. Wishes are coming true. Miracles are heading in your direction. We have a firm foundation. A firm foundation. Well, it's firm foundation, but I feel like it is a firm foundation. You know, maybe that was the ticket. I had to firm up my own foundation, because it's coming under a 9, and a lot of times I feel 9s are like singular. You know, they belong to you. And then we have the 2 of Swords. 2 swords under financial material changes. So you may have questioned these changes, or you're questioning them right now. Like, is this the right move? Some of you may be moving away from someone who has hurt you in some way. And, you know, any change can be hard. But, you know, I feel like sometimes we don't recognize the blessing in the change until we're into the next journey. And then we can look back and go, oh, okay, I get it now. So the 2 swords is a blindfold, right? May just be something I don't want to face. You could talk about where you're working at, what you do for a living. you know, maybe you weren't getting paid well for the work that you do. Well, this seems to turn that around, you know, so like a promotion. Some of you, I feel like, you know, you may be leaving a job where you don't feel fulfilled. You know, you don't have that inner fulfillment. And that's not an easy decision either, but I feel like nonetheless, you do make it. If I put that 3 and the 2, the only difficult cards on the table, if I put them together, it equals a 5. Again, change. So I feel like, you know, 2 of Swords can be where I'm blocking an opportunity. Maybe I'm blocking this miracle. Maybe, and if I am, it's simply because I'm nervous about a change. I'm nervous about making a change, but I feel like Divine's got your back here. Let's keep going. You know, I'm just noticing we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, Tower under the 3 of Swords. That makes sense. So, to me, the Tower feels destructive. You know, it's definitely an interruption in our life. You know, the one thing we have to realize, though, is we can rebound from these towers, and we're meant to. You know, material and spiritual prosperity. So some of you, you're on a spiritual path now, and you're realizing that some of these towers that really felt painful, you know, I don't feel like you asked for them. But in the same breath, I feel like something, you know, it's almost like a chapter was ready to end, and maybe I didn't want it to end. But maybe there's something better waiting. That's the feeling I'm getting. So I don't fear this tower. I don't believe this is a tower that's coming. I feel like this tower has already happened, because it is connected not only to the 3 of Swords, but also the 2 of Swords. So sometimes we can give these towers a lot more power than they deserve. Let's see what else we have. Partnerships and alliances. Partnerships and alliances under material and spiritual prosperity. Great energy of collaboration. Listen, I feel like for someone who's making a job change, you're finding the right people to work with. You know, it might be like, you know, I've been surrounding myself with the wrong type of energy, with a lower type vibrational energy, and, you know, it's almost like I feel like I know that I can do so much more in the world. I know that I can have this fulfillment in my life, but I also know in the same breath that it does take change. It does take movement. It does take me to end what chapters want to end. You know, sometimes the tower, yes, can be other people throwing it to us, but I often feel Divine's hand behind it, because I feel like, you know, we're not meant to stay, especially in heartache. We're not meant to stay in that energy. So I feel like as soon as I realize that, and I start moving forward, and maybe I take a daring move, I feel like the right people just find you. Beautiful energy for collaboration. Maybe I was collaborating with another and it didn't work out. Well, maybe now the right people are going to be introduced in your life. You know, this is about what you do in the world and your uniqueness to it. I often say it doesn't matter if 1,000 other people do the same thing you do. No one does it quite like you. Slide these up just a hair. I want to take one more row before we bring out the Gilded Tarot. Whoa. Excuse me. movement, choices, and decisions. That's exactly what I felt. Making a decision, some type of movement, but am I going to do it? Two Swords puts a little fear factor there. But this is also very positive type energy. Or it can be. I love the line it's coming in. Fulfillment of wishes, the Nine of Cups. Firm foundation. You know, to me that means you're grounded. If you're not grounded, you're becoming grounded. Or you're starting to understand the importance of grounding your own energy. And I feel like with that, it's like you can really connect, not just to above, but to this earthly plane. All right. Temptation. This is the devil. This is a card of Capricorn. This can talk about things that, you know, I want to say go bump in the night. I don't know where that's coming from. But it to me can talk about things that I've been tempted towards. Things that may be on a lower vibration than really where my wishes lie. Like my wishes lie on this vibration, but I keep getting tempted down to this vibration. Some of you can talk about addiction, moving away from it, seeing it, understanding it. And it doesn't have to be like a physical substance. It can be a person. It can be a type of person. Some of you could certainly just be a Capricorn. Your neighbor. I feel like you have an opportunity to really raise your vibration here. But to do that, I feel like I gotta let the past go. I gotta let these towers leave, right? I can't allow these towers or this tower to influence my present or my future. I gotta know if I am tempted to like a lower vibrational type person. Some of you may decide to collaborate with a Capricorn. Choose wisely. Seven of Cups. Coming under the Three of Swords and the Tower. Makes it a little more difficult to choose a cup when the energy that's surrounding it is heartache and loss and disruption. Nonetheless, it's like, choose a cup. Where do you want to go next? You know, this can feel a little chaotic. And sometimes I feel like in this energy, you know, I can be fearful choosing a cup because it seems like every time I choose a cup, I may choose the wrong cup. And that may be why temptation is here first. You know, understanding the type of energy you've been drawn to and making a decision. Over here we have a decision. Making a decision if that's what I want to continue with. I don't think you do. Anyways, the good news about the Seven of Cups means that there's an opportunity, right? There is a cup to pick from. You know, it's saying miracle over here, but it may not feel like a miracle or may not look like a miracle because of the energy it's coming under. Nonetheless, doesn't mean it's not. I feel, you know, and I also feel like, you know, I feel like you don't have to do anything, but I feel like if I'm going to choose this cup, Choose it before the year ends. Hopefully choose it in the month of December or September. But, you know, if this is something you need to think about for a little while, don't go into your fear-based mind, right? Think about all that you've learned from all of your experiences, and then decide, you know, should I accept this new cup? I definitely feel like you're going to accept a cup. I definitely feel like you're going to. I feel like first and foremost, though, your guides are pointing out that how you don't want to allow your past to affect the potential of what can be. And then we have the waiting game. The waiting game. 2. Anchored by another 2. Excuse me. And then we have rest and rejuvenation on the bottom of the deck. This is the 4 of Swords. This is healing. This is healing that broken heart. This is healing those towers. You know, and that's the truth. You know, it's like when you're in it, it's hard to believe that it can be healed. But it can be. You gotta let it, right? And sometimes the way you heal something is by just moving through it, right? Not getting like, you know, this can talk about taking a little bit of time out, evaluating, allowing, you know, the heart to heal, the mind to heal, the soul to heal. But also in the 4 of Swords, there's another sword, and that is your own self within your life. Like looking at my choices, you know, my responsibility in it. Now, it doesn't mean I'm putting blame on you. It just means this talks about getting to know oneself. You know, especially if you've been tempted towards lower type vibrational energy. I gotta know that. That alone can save me. Let's see what's under that. Look at that. Another 4. Discontentment and boredom. 4 cups. So this person's got their back to the world. Some of you did have to take a little bit of time out. And that's okay. But I feel like now things are changing. You know, it's like I have this heartache, right? I have this pain. I have this disruption from the tower. I have this blindfold on. But truth be told, I wasn't content with what I had anyway. Now, maybe my human mind thinks I was, but spiritually, I don't feel like you were. This is that realization. You know, to me, it sets you free. And, you know, healing is not just a one-time thing. I feel like we go through chapters in our lives, you know, like every 9 years is a new chapter, is a new beginning. Here we have a 9, right? Fulfillment of wishes. A miracle is about to take place. Am I going to let it? You know, I need to take the blindfold off of the 2 of Swords. And maybe what I really need to face again is that I've been pulled to a certain energy that, you know, in a way I want to say, that energy doesn't deserve you. Doesn't deserve your time, your effort, your love, whatever it may be. So I feel like whether you know it or not, you're on to bigger and better. Alright, let's bring in the Gilded Tarot and let's go deeper. Let's break this baby down and see exactly what it's talking about. Again, I'm going to use the Gilded Tarot. I love the Gilded Tarot and the Psychic Tarot together. I feel like they work in harmony. Alright, we're going to start at the top, but we're reading it as a whole. 369. 369. It's like the calling from the universe. It's like the universe is calling. Will you answer? Well, hello, Wheel. Destiny. Coming right over the Nine of Cups. Again, in this deck, fulfillment of wishes. Mother Mary saying there's a miracle coming. The Wheel is just your destiny, you know. I feel like the wheel, sometimes it gets stuck. Well, sometimes I put a wedge in it. I don't feel like the wheel stops moving, but sometimes I put a wedge in it. And maybe I needed to for a moment, but the wheel's starting to move again. You know, you're meant to be happy. Doesn't mean that you're not meant to have experiences, and sometimes difficult experiences, but you are meant to overcome them as much as you can, because ultimately I feel like you're meant to be happy. Destiny. Sometimes we're at the bottom, sometimes we're at the top. Look at that, the devil again. Capricorn. Double Capricorn on the board, by the way. Financial and material changes. Let's talk about the devil for a second. You know, now Capricorn, you know, if there's Capricorns here, I'm not talking about you. But what I'm talking about within the devil's energy is the devil can cast illusions. And these illusions can seem real. I mean, we're living that life right now in America. You know what I mean? Like, half of the world thinks one thing and half the world believes another. Who's right? Who's wrong? Right? But that's what the devil does. The devil casts illusions. Almost like trying to trick you. Like, follow me this way and everything will be just fine. But then it's not. Look at this, Ace of Cups over the Three of Swords. So it's letting us know exactly what this Three of Swords is about. Love. Now, that doesn't mean love is over. You know, because the waters from that Ace of Cups keep on flowing. May not be with the same person, but it doesn't mean love is over. Put that Ace of Cups with that Nine of Cups, brings us to the Ten of Cups. But sometimes, you know, I feel like there's someone who has influenced you in a negative way. It's almost like I told you that the world will be yours, but that's not the way it turned out. I told you that, you know, that I'm going to love you forever, but that's not the way it turned out. I'm going to treat you like the queen or the king that you are, but that's not what they did. Page of Pentacles, coming over material and spiritual prosperity. Some of you could be going back to school for something. You could be taking a class. This is definitely, this is a path of knowledge. Gaining wisdom as I go along. This can talk about building up your pentacles, coming over material prosperity, but also spiritual prosperity. So I feel like, you know, you're also, like, I feel like you're learning that. Like, that's been part of this journey, because it is mirroring the wheel. This is where I'm learning. It's also where I know what I know, what I know. And once I know it, I can't unknow it. Some of you, you know, I feel like some of you I think I'm exaggerating a little bit when I say this, but for some it might be true, but I feel like it's almost like I'm becoming a professor. And, you know, what's my curriculum? Life. Life. Some of you have been on a path of really learning the ups and downs in love. But I also feel like what else you're learning is, again, I hate to like keep harping on this, but I feel like if I don't realize that I've been attracted to this lower type vibration, then how can I change it? I feel like that's where your spiritual team comes into play. You know, it's like, curse you, Tower. But I do feel like eventually you're going to be like, thank you, Tower. All right, let's keep going. You know, this is telling me that there's some types of experiences that you're having or that you had that I feel like your soul wanted to have. Why? Because your soul wanted true expansion in this lifetime. You know, we need to remember that our soul came down to this earthly classroom to learn, to expand, to experience not just beautiful, positive things, but also negative and difficult things. You know, that's where we get our true expansion. But I also feel like when we have those realizations, I do feel like there's rewards. And I don't know that reward is the right word, but I do feel like there is some type of blessing that follows. It's like the universe is saying, good job, Aquarius, good job. All right, keep going. I feel like for a few of you, getting out into nature, like going on hikes, you know, putting your feet in the grass, hugging a tree, playing with kids, like getting outside. I feel like it's tremendous in your healing. You know, laying in bed and just thinking over and over and over about those swords that pierce my heart. Yes, you know, like, I get it, right? I've been there. We've all been there. But we can't stay there. Or if we choose to stay there, then chances are, you know, just think we're going into the fall, which is harvest time. But if I chose to stay in bed through the whole year, well, then I don't know that any seeds are going to be coming up. The sun. Beautiful. Under the wheel. Under fulfillment of wishes. And over a firm foundation. Getting out into the sun. I feel like that's exactly what I was just talking about. This is a card of Leo. But this is illumination. You know, I feel like the sun is here to help illuminate the things that are not working, that are working against you. It's helping to illuminate any of those illusions. You know, if anyone's feeding me illusions, I can see it in the sun. Nothing can hide in the sun, and what's ever done in the dark will come to the light. Doesn't mean it's easy when it comes to the light, but now I can't help but accept it, right? I see it. This is also about your inner child, though. You know, and allowing that inner child to come out and play. I feel like, you know, you've been on a path or a journey where you really are firming up your foundation. And, you know, that's such an important thing, because with your own firm foundation, it's very hard for anyone to knock you off it. You know, so if a tower follows that, it's hard to knock you off that, right? Like once I know what I know, don't feed me any lies, because I'll see it. I'll know it. But I love that the sun's coming under the wheel. It's like a brand new day. It's a brand new chapter, and it's coming in the light. It's also going to sneak underneath that blindfold, almost like making you see the truth of something or someone. We have the High Priestess. Excuse me. This is your intuition. This is what you want to trust. This is your GPS for this lifetime. You know, you're connected to above. Remember that. As above, so below. So when we get into these hairy situations, so to speak, what do we turn to? Turn to your intuition. Turn to God. But then listen to your guidance, because you're receiving guidance. And by the way, I feel like, again, any illusions, you're going to be able to see right through it. Maybe I couldn't before. Maybe I wanted something to be what something was said it was going to be. But it just didn't turn out that way. Alright. Well, that sucks. But on to the next. We have the Queen of Cups. Can be a Scorpio, Cancer, or Pisces. She's coming under the Tower. Ace of Cups above her. And then we have the Six of Swords following that. So I love seeing the Six of Swords here with some of the harder cards that we have. And the reason why is because this tells me, especially with the Sun here, that's, you know, it's mirroring the Sun. So the Six of Swords is about the realization of what and who has been toxic to me. It's the ripping away of any illusions, the ripping away of any blindfolds, and seeing the truth for the truth. Means I'm no longer accepting what is toxic, what has been toxic, who has been toxic, even my own thought system. You know, it could have started with someone else being toxic, but then it landed into your thought system. Could have been like the illusion, someone giving you illusion that, you know, I feel like, first of all, like, I'm going to love you, but then it doesn't, like, they don't play their part. Or like false promises, but then it doesn't manifest. So the Sun's like, we're letting you see where the toxicity lies in your life so that you can eliminate it. Move away from it. And by the way, if any of you are dealing, just because I keep feeling like someone's giving you like this illusionary energy, what was I just going to say? I forget what I was just going to say. It's like they're casting the illusion over me now. We have the Seven of Swords, but it came in reverse. It turned itself around on my arm. Seven of Swords is standing your ground. Or Seven of Wands, I'm sorry. It's standing your ground. But sometimes I gotta know, is it worth standing my ground with someone or a situation? This can be battling, right? Battling off attacks. But it's in reverse. So I feel like that's where you were. But I get this feeling like I now know that it's not worth it. I feel like whoever caused or whatever caused that Three of Swords and the Tower, you're having such true realizations about it now that you don't need to stand your ground. It's better to leave it. Oh, I know what I was going to say. I feel like for some of you, just because of the energy, it can be the energy of dealing with a narcissist. You know, some people try to stay and change them and help them and get them to see their ways, but that's not your purpose, right? Their purpose is to figure that out themselves. And I feel like changing a narcissist, I don't think you're going to do it. So standing your ground over that, it's just like, Is the battle worth it? I don't think so. So I feel like because of that, here comes this movement. You know, the sun illuminates all and everything, including ourselves, but for our benefit. I feel like the sun is a brand new day coming over the fulfillment of wishes, which is the 9, is beginning a new chapter. It sits upon your wheel. I feel like there was a lot that you've learned or you had the ability to learn from, let's just say, your last chapter, maybe your whole life. I feel like you're changing. And I feel like it's very positive changes. All right. We have the 6 of Pentacles coming over temptation. Excuse me. 6 of Pentacles. You know, 6 of Pentacles is really a generous type energy. It's a very compassionate type energy. It's where I feel good helping the underdog. And I feel like that's what you were doing. Like, in a way, like, here I am trying to help this underdog. But this underdog doesn't want any help. You know, it's like I was giving and giving, but I wasn't receiving back what I was told I was going to receive back. Whatever situation, whether it be love, work, whatever it may be. I feel like, yes, you gave and you gave, but did you receive? 6 of Pentacles is learning that fine art of give and take and knowing that you deserve to receive as much as you deserve to give. Like, giving makes you feel good. I know that. I know it makes you feel good. But I also got to know who I'm giving to. And is it benefiting me? It's almost like someone keeps asking you for money. And then you give them money. And then they do something with that money that doesn't serve them nor you. Now, it may serve them in a negative way, but to them a positive way. Well, I don't want to keep doing that. Interesting. So, I don't know why I did that, but I turned these around. But now I know I need to leave them in the upright. Alright, we have the Death card. Card of Scorpio. Coming over the 7 of Cups, so definitely making a decision whether you're going to close the door or not. I hope that you do. Because when you close the door, in the Death card, it promises that there's going to be a rebirth. Now, the Death card's mirroring the Ace of Cups, so yes, I do feel like something didn't work out in that Ace of Cups, but I don't feel like it's the end. Maybe with a certain person, but I feel like that needed to end. But love is not over for you. Love of life is not over for you. It's a temporary feeling when it feels like it is. So the Death card says, do not fear closing these doors. Trust that when you do, another door will open. And understand that sometimes I cannot, like, I feel like your God just saying, like, I cannot open up the new door until this one door is closed, locked, and I throw away the key. You're making a decision right now on whether to end something and let it be. And then we have the 6 of Wands, which is normally the energy of victory, but now it's in reverse. You know, I feel like there's a few of you who have been collaborating with someone also, and I feel like it didn't work out. And maybe it's just that simple. Maybe your two energies don't mesh. Maybe your two vibrations are in different places. But I feel like if that's the case, there'll be other people. Maybe there's a platform you've been wanting to take, but you didn't. Maybe someone told you you wouldn't be good at it, but that's a lie. That's an illusion. The waiting game, this is coming over. So maybe if I'm waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for someone or something, I gotta stop waiting. And I gotta start moving. Because I feel like that is the ticket. Again, if you want to create your own platform, you know, especially with the Page of Pentacles there, coming over material and spiritual prosperity, partnerships and alliances, I feel like it just puts the right people in place for whatever it is that's next. And I feel like the platform is meant for you, but you just have to know that. It's almost like if I don't close that door, I don't open up that platform. If I don't close this door, then I don't believe that I can open up this platform. I don't know why I'm coughing so much. Alright, we're going to take these. Okay, interesting how, you know, and when I do with my decks is I make sure everything is in the upright before I even begin. So when they come in reverse on their own, well, I know that they're meant to. We have the Page of Wands in reverse. I don't even know where I want to take it. I think I'm just going to take them right under here. We have Justice. Some of you, literally, you're cutting ties with someone. Some of you may have been on a karmic type of, or in a karmic type situation, and if that's the case, truly, you need to learn from that. Because when you can learn from any karmic situation, you clear that karma for eternity. Cutting of the ties. To who? To what? To anything that's not serving you. To anything or anyone who's telling you lies. Who's trying to feed you illusions. I feel like the sun is like, you can't do that anymore, buddy. We can see it. Justice is about what's fair and just in the world. And you deserve that. You know, justice is also about making you whole again. Because I do feel like you've been broken for a little bit. But this is about becoming whole again. But first, I got to cut the ties. Again, to what? To whatever is not serving me. To who's ever given me illusions. Illusions of grandeur, but then nothing manifest. Five of Wands right before that. Five of Wands is battling. You know, this is a lot of ego type energy. This, you know, this totally would describe a narcissist, because if I'm expecting someone in this energy to tell me they were wrong, to back down, to give me an apology, it's not going to come. It's not going to come. They're not built that way. They don't see themselves as ever being wrong type of energy. Wow. Then you go ahead and live in your little world while I go on and start creating a new world for myself. And I feel like that's exactly what you're doing, because remember, oh, that was in reverse. Page of Swords in reverse, interesting. King of Wands in reverse. Three of Cups in reverse. And the Nine of Wands in reverse. Alright, let's slide these over. Excuse me. Some of you, it's almost like the energy of like someone ghosting you. It's interesting because it just made me think of a video I made that was called Does a Soulmate Ghost You? I think that was the title of it, and it was interesting. It was quite interesting. I did it kind of like how I do my twin flame readings. two different conversations. Just reminding me of that. And I'm saying that because, you know, we have the waiting game. We have the Page of Swords in reverse. So it's almost like if I'm waiting for a certain communication to come in, and maybe I'm waiting for it to come in a certain way, but I don't think you're going to get it. But again, that may seem like a negative thing, but I feel like ultimately it's a positive thing. King of Wands, next to that, can be an Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Three Cups beside that. Someone may have a drinking problem. And no matter how much you want to change that for them, you can't. Some of you may have even done that yourself. Like, you know, like I try to drink my problems away. But then you wake up the next day and the problems are bigger, but you also have a hangover with it. So that's not the answer either. Nine of Wands is about reflection. You know, looking at your life. You know, I feel like Nine of Wands is a period of time where there is a lot of responsibility. But in the same breath, it's like, if I can look back and if I'm seeing everything for the truth that it is, no matter what anybody else is saying, even me, because this is about your guides talking to you, right? That sun is going to illuminate all of this. I feel like it helps you take off that blindfold, but it also allows you to see your part in it. Now, I feel like the person in the Nine of Wands ultimately becomes a spirit warrior, or they realize that they already are a spirit warrior. They're bringing out that part of themselves. Now, it's in reverse, so I'm just a little worried about that. I'm not worried, so to speak. I feel like it's almost like if I don't look at my life through the lens of truth, then I myself am, what's the word I want to use? It's like I'm fooling myself. I feel like if you've been waiting for communication from someone and you're just not getting it, try to let that go. Try to let them go. Right? Because if someone is holding back communication from you, I feel like that's it's cruel. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not interested in me, tell me. Let me go on. Let me move on from this. But it's almost like someone holding you, like they have their hook in you. You got to remove that hook. What do I want to look at? I want to go back to the Ace of Cups. Because there's no way do I feel like there's no more love coming your way. I just feel like this is saying something didn't work out. Someone definitely pierced your heart. Someone may have thrown you that tower and, you know, then stopped communicating with you. Someone just has been feeding you a bunch of illusions. And, you know, I feel like your guide is saying, we want you to see the truth. And I felt that ace right off the bat, even though I feel like, yes, someone probably broke my heart here. But I see the water continuing to flow. So I'm going to look a little deeper at that. Well, that didn't take long. We have the Emperor, card of Aries. Could he be the cause? We'll see. We have the Knight of Pentacles. Beautiful. Just beautiful. Knight of Pentacles, the slowest moving knight in the deck. But really the most loyal. This knight comes in at the right time. What could that possibly mean? Well, let's think about this for a second, because if I remain in the energy of heartache, if I remain in that energy, or I allow that tower to affect how my present and my future is going to be, if I stop planting my own seeds, then my garden's going to be empty. If I keep trusting another to fulfill me, when really it's about fulfillment of self first and foremost, I don't know. So I feel like when the Knight of Pentacles speaks about the right time, that's what it's talking about. Now this Knight is looking right over at the Emperor. So I almost don't feel like this Emperor is someone I have to worry about. But let's talk about the Emperor, because it doesn't have to be an Aries. This would be someone that normally we would look up to. And I'm saying normally, but I think we do. I feel like this is someone you will look up to. This is the leader of the people. This is someone who's been there, done that. Been through lots of experience. You know, it's like he's holding a degree in his hand, along with the scrolls, like wisdom, you know, of spiritual nature, but also wisdom of a material, physical nature. And then the Seven of Cups again. Interesting. So this Knight of Pentacles is meant to bring this pentacle in, right? And let's remember, if a Knight shows up, unless they're in reverse, they're going to complete their mission, right? As soon as you complete your mission, they're there. Like the minute, and it may say, as soon as you close that door, that Knight shows up. I don't come until it is the right time, though. Some of you, this can certainly be talking about also work. You know, again, where I felt down here, it's like not working on my own platform, not trusting in my own self. But this can certainly be business ownership. And not only that, with the Knight of Pentacles, right, you know, heading right towards it, man, I feel like that can be true success. And let me tell you one more thing. I feel like if that's the case, you're going to have a love for what you do. It doesn't mean it won't be hard work, but there's a love for it. And I feel like maybe you couldn't lead the people without the experiences that you've had. You know, it's almost like you're helping others to overcome what you yourself have overcome. All right. I'm not ready to leave that yet. I'm going to go right below. Look at this, Lovers. Came in reverse. Lovers, card of Gemini. Gemini and Aquarius attached here. Kinda, not really. Could be, but this is a head over heart decision. That's what the Lover means. But I also feel like it talks about certain people, like a certain type of love. It is in reverse. Doesn't mean it won't be. Doesn't mean that the Lovers aren't going to be activated and turned around. Because again, the Knight of Pentacles is the one who's creating all this. Knight of Pentacles now has the Ace of Cups right above it. So even though the Lover's in reverse, to me it feels like it can be turned around. But maybe I don't believe that yet. You know what I mean? Like, I don't believe that yet, because behind the Knight is still a little confusion. Like, this is why I feel like the High Priestess came out, because this is the kind of energy where you need to trust your intuition above all. King of Pentacles. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. We have a lot of Capricorn on the board. Trying to think if we have Virgo or Taurus, but it doesn't even matter. Let's talk about this king. So this king is someone who, when they look at life, they look at the big picture down. Normally, and he is in the upright, This is someone who's loyal. Now, I know some of you are going to be like, well, not my king. My king wasn't. But ultimately, that is their energy. You know, it's like someone who's loyal and would definitely expect that loyalty back. That may be your question. Will you be loyal? I feel like their answer will be yes. Actually, he goes right here. Under the Knight. Under the Knight of Pentacles. We have the Ten of Swords coming under the Seven of Cups. And then we have the Page of Cups in reverse. Interesting how many reversals we're getting. But they're coming in reverse for a reason. So, Ten of Swords is telling me why it would be hard to choose a cup. It's because I'm thinking about every dagger that's ever been in my back. You know, Ten of Swords to me is a repeat pattern. And again, it may be the type of energy I had been attracted to. Lower type vibration. And, you know, if I lower my vibration, then that's what I can expect back. Remember, the universe needs to match your vibration, your intentions. You know, if I, like the Ten Swords to me, it's like dagger after dagger, so why wouldn't I expect another dagger? And I'll be damned, here comes another dagger. But I need to see that. I need to break that. It's almost like a curse, and I need to break it, like a generational curse. I need to break it. Page of Cups in reverse right next to it. It's almost like someone, you know, I feel like someone did a number on you. Someone got you to stop believing in yourself. Stop loving yourself. Stop loving your life. No wonder we saw the Four of Cups under healing. Discontentment. This by no means is an easy reading because I can really feel like the heartache. I can feel it, right? I can feel like almost like someone ghosts. You know, I don't feel like this is for everyone, but I do feel like for some of you it's like someone just stopped communicating with you. And shame on them. And I feel like, you know, should I wait around for that? No. Because again, if someone wants to be with you, allow them to raise their vibration to meet yours. If you look at this as learning experiences and then close the doors, my God, your vibration will just skyrocket. And when that happens, again, the universe is going to meet that. That's why we started the reading out with not only destiny, but fulfillment of wishes and miracles. This Ace of Cups, it's not over. I feel like, yes, it may be over with a certain person, but it's not over in your life. And it's interesting because I see the Lovers, and I see them in reverse, but I don't feel them in reverse. I feel like it's almost like you don't understand that these lovers, this love, exist down the road. Interesting. All right, let's pick this up. Though I think I want to leave the Lovers out for a second. And I'm going to put it back in reverse the way it was. But I want to know a little bit more about that. We have the Hierophant. Interesting. Card of Taurus. But this is about your belief system. You know what? I feel like you don't believe it can happen. You don't believe that there's love out there for you. You don't believe that there's real opportunities out there for you. But there are. You know, this is asking you to question your belief, your trust, your hope, your faith in God. And the Empress. Honestly, I don't know when the Empress came out, but I looked down and there she is. It's the second time that's happened to me. So, now we had the Emperor, now we have the Empress. Let's talk about this Empress because I feel like her energy right now is so important. The Empress is someone who definitely has lived life, has been through it all, much like the Emperor. But this is someone who realizes that I don't want to close my heart off. I don't want to close the opportunity for love, future love. Right? This is someone who stays loving and nurturing, but she also realizes the power she has. Where did her power come from? From reality. Her power came from not just her experiences, but looking at those experiences, learning from those experiences. I feel like the Emperor can be a great teacher. You know, she's very expressive. She's very creative. She's always receiving epiphanies. Doesn't mean, you know, well, I feel like once you get to the Empress's energy, and I feel like we all have that in us, male or female, it's just bringing out that loving, nurturing self, or part of ourselves. Learning to love ourselves again, no matter what anybody told us. You know, we saw the Ten of Swords, and it may not just be one person. This could be things that you've dealt with your whole life. But this gives you the opportunity to see it, and then when you see it, you can make the necessary changes. I feel like it's about believing in you again. You know, the Empress is very powerful. And why is she powerful? Because she trusts her energy above all. You know what I mean? Like her energetic force. If, let's just say, any like lower type illusions start coming in, please, she'd laugh at them. She knows better. I've seen you before. I know your game. And it's not going to work here. Not in my house. Not in my life. Some of you, this has been the path that you've been on so that you can raise to the vibration of the Empress. And I feel like once you raise to that vibration, watch what flows in your life. So I forget what I was even looking at. I was looking at the Lovers. And then we had the Knight of Pentacles, right? Which is the right time. So, you know, maybe my future love, maybe they're not ready yet. Maybe they're going through their own situations, right? I want them to come to the table correct. Like, I don't want to fix anybody, right? I mean, I don't mind helping to heal those last broken pieces, but I don't want to fix you. I want you to fix yourself. And I don't mean you. I mean, I feel like that would be a conversation you'd be having. Okay. So I do feel like this Lovers is a future energy. And that's really what I was looking at. I want to pick up all these because I feel like there's so much. And I am not done. Somebody left me a comment under one of the readings that was over an hour long, and she said, "This is so unfinished." And I thought to myself, you know, and I'm not putting down that comment because maybe that's exactly the way she felt. But I'm thinking, my God, it was over an hour long. Like, I could go on and on and on in readings, no doubt. I could. But I do try to clarify as much as I can for you. All right, I'm going to use a completely different deck. I don't want you to forget about miracles, right? I trust in God to know the perfect solution to this situation, and it feels like a miracle, or it is a miracle. Let's bring out the Cosmic Tarot. Let me give it a couple shuffles. And I don't know if I'm looking at anything in particular or just looking for more clarity. I think that's the main thing. And I feel like what I want to do, if our guides are okay with that, is I'd like to look at the present moving forward. Let's give him a cut. And again, I'm not looking at any particular card, but I am asking the question of present day energy moving forward. Because I feel like a lot of this was talking about what you've been dealing with, what you've already, you know, what maybe some of you have already overcome. Whoa, I almost caught them. Eight of Cups, Queen of Cups. Second time we saw the Queen of Cups. Princess of Cups. Interesting. Now, I'm saying interesting because first of all, I want you to forget about the signs. I say that all the time, but I hope you understand why. Especially when we saw the Empress, because if you think about the Empress, she's walked the walk of all the queens. She's been down their path, right? She's learned, she's gained, she's lost, but ultimately she comes away with clarity. So let's look at this now. So we have the Queen of Cups right next to the Princess. It's going to talk about younger energy and today's energy. But first we start with the Eight of Cups. So the Eight of Cups is talking about clarity over my emotional house, clarity over those cups that have been knocked over, clarity enough that allows me to move on from it. Remember, an 8 is about a new beginning. It's also infinity. So you're not alone in this energy. You know, it's like if you're asking for spiritual clarity in your emotional house, you're going to receive it. Now, what is mirrored by it at this moment is the Princess of Cups. Wow. And by the way, she's coming right where that Ace of Cups would have been. Princess of Cups is someone who receives an unexpected cup of fulfillment. I might feel like, I feel like something's coming my way, but I may not be sure what. Well, now it's telling us. So it's some type of cup of fulfillment. Well, we already know that with the Nine of Cups, fulfillment of wishes. Interesting though, because now the Eight of Cups right by that Nine of Cups, it's like I do have to have that emotional clarity. And by the way, it's not looking at every single cup that's knocked over. It's just the ones that are holding you back. Some of them are just like free will choices. You know, some of them are just immature energy, or we were immature at the time. But some of them have left an emotional scar. And that's the ones you want to look at. Alright, let's follow this. So this princess is about to receive an unexpected cup of fulfillment. She doesn't look fearful at all. Matter of fact, she's looking directly at me. Tell me more, Sandy. Tell me more. Prince of Pentacles. Interesting. We have a princess and now we have prince. Can speak about younger energy. You know, for some of you, by the way, I feel like, you know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot. You know, some of you have been through a lot I feel like some of you are dealing with some type of narcissistic type of energy. Or let's put it a different way. An energy where you weren't treated right. I do not think this is the same person. Now, that doesn't mean I couldn't have been with him and it didn't work out. But I don't feel like, if it didn't work out, I don't feel like it didn't work out because of something horrible. It may just not have been the right time. But I kind of love that we now have a prince and the princess. And I feel like the queen is representing the current moment. We have the tower. But then we have the sun. So clearly there was some type of tower. This Queen of Cups keeps coming up around the tower's energy. Some of you could be a Queen or a King of Cups that has been like eliminated from your life, so to speak. I want to just take a card right over that. Look at that. I have the Eight of Pentacles. Wait a minute. Alright, I have my whole deck on reverse, so it's in the upright. Eight of Pentacles. Over that Queen. Wow. First thing I feel like with the tower underneath that this is the opportunity. You know, it's like, is this Queen in the light? Is she someone that is in the light? Well, I kind of feel so, because I feel like this Queen can take these towers and can build a business from them. You know what I mean? It's like I can take my hardships, turn them around, and use them in my favor. Again, an 8, a new beginning. I feel like this is talking about two people who may have known each other from a younger time. But with the sun here, there's just nothing I need to fear. Alright, I'm not done. I'm going to go right below that. And then I'll let you be. Well, we're going to read Miracle. Look at that. 6 of Cups. Okay. Someone that I used to know. You know, even though this prince and this princess have a tower here, I don't feel like it was... It could have felt destructive in the moment. But I don't feel like it is the ultimate tower. Like, I feel like maybe I was with this person, and for whatever reason it didn't work out. And then I feel like maybe after that I started making choices or decisions about people, you know, who, well, maybe I didn't feel like I deserved love. So that's the kind of people who vibrated towards me. But this person's different, though. Because the 6 of Cups talks about someone you have happy memories about. And vice versa, by the way. Okay, well, I'm glad to see that, because that gave us a lot of clarity just in that one card. I feel like this Queen has the opportunity again to take these towers that have happened in her life, to take whatever hardship has happened in her life, and to turn it around and use it again to her benefit. You know, if I question, will I have success? Can I be successful? If you're willing to put your focus on it, that's what you're going to grow. Judgment. That's your spiritual team. They're calling you to the present moment, and that's exactly what I'm asking for, present moment energy. And then the potential of what can be. Well, Judgment says bring your attention to the present moment because there's about to be a rebirth. Again, this princess doesn't know it. It's unexpected couple fulfillment. She may feel it, but it hasn't arrived yet. Judgment says, get ready. This is probably why a lot of this old energy, this hard energy came up, so that you can clear it, so that when this does come together, however it comes together, you're much more receptive. And by the way, let's not forget about the Empress, right? It's like I'm not closing my heart off to love just because somebody else treated me like shit. Just because someone else couldn't love me doesn't mean the perfect person is not out there just waiting to love me. Your spiritual team, they know that you've had these towers, but they've also seen you overcome them. And I feel like that is the reward. Like, because you've been able to overcome them, the rebirth is part of the reward. 9 of Swords, Princess of Wands, and then look what it brings us back to. The 9 of Cups, right where we started. So, should I give this a chance? The Princess of Wands would. Because this is someone who will move according to her desires and passions and think about it later. And it's interesting because you do have the 9 of Swords here, but it's under the sun. So, you know, we have to be really real. Something, you know, especially if I've suffered a lot of heartache, and then someone else comes towards me, even if I know them already, and they feel like they're coming in the light. I know they're coming in the light, but they also feel like they have, like their energy is light. And I mean like loving and remember, like they have treasured memories about you. This could be a past life lover. This could be a soulmate that you had an agreement with to come together in this lifetime. And this may be the time. But it would make sense, because we are human also, that little fear factor raises its ugly head again. But listen, the 9 of Swords is about unnecessary worry. That is the meaning of the card. And your spiritual team's like, I got ya. And then it brings us right back to inner fulfillment. I feel like, you know, I can't tell you what to do. Because, you know, you don't tell an Aries what to do. However, I feel like, does it feel safe to give this a chance? To me, it does. To me, it feels very meant to be. And, you know, and what we got to remember, too, that we didn't just come down into this lifetime just to have romantic relationships. We came here to learn everything. And that means tower-type energy. That means swords in our heart, right? And then the overcoming of it. That's where our real strength comes from, right? Yes, I get knocked down, but I get back up again. And listen, sometimes it takes time. And that's okay. But don't allow yourself to get stuck in it for too long, because that wheel wants to start turning. And it's going to start turning. And your spiritual team is like, we're right here. We're right here to help you. And maybe even helping to bring it in. Or to bring two people together now. Someone that I used to know. Alright, I think I'm going to leave it there, because I feel like from that point on, you know, I feel like, yes, it definitely feels like you should take a chance. But I do feel like you've had to at least close some doors. You at least had to have the realization of, it can even be like certain people you found yourself attracted to. And now that I can see that and I know that, I'm ready for the truth. I'm ready for real. Well, that's what wants to be delivered to you. All right, let's read Miracle. Miracle, Mother, right after that. Some of you, it could be your mother who's sending in this miracle or helping this miracle to manifest. Your spiritual team. I mean, you know, if you have a mother in who has passed, you better believe she's going to stand up and move forward as it relates to your love life. She'll probably push all your other guides aside. This is my territory. I know who I want my daughter or my son. You know, I can see it. All right. You've asked for miracles, and they are given. Even if you can't imagine how your present situation could be resolved, God's infinite wisdom contains the solution. This card offers reassurance that a miracle is manifesting for you and your loved ones. It appears in a completely unexpected way. Remember that. Unexpected. Mother Mary offers you strength and support during this time. She is a source of great emotional comfort and healing. Lean upon her, especially if your faith wavers. Remember that God works with divine timing, and may give you guidance as to the necessary steps for you to take to bring this miracle about. Again, God works with divine timing and may give you guidance as to the necessary steps for you to take to bring this miracle about. So your action is important. And I feel like God's already given us the steps to take, right? Closing certain doors, seeing who's truthful, eliminating who's not, right? Living the life you want to live. Knowing that miracles can happen at any time. I know it. I know it. They've happened to me in completely unexpected ways. That's what this princess is. She's receiving something that's completely unexpected, but it's going to fulfill her. Wow. All right, I'm going to leave it there, guys. How interesting. I feel like it took us the whole way back, and now it's moving us into the future, or at least the potential of the future. Don't forget, you have free will. You know, God can send you all the signs in the world, but if you don't listen to Him, or you don't take the action needed, I don't know. Anyways, let's let that be. I thank you guys. I love you guys. I thank you for your donations. It is you who keeps me, gives me the ability to keep bringing you these readings. You know, I couldn't do it without you. So thank you, thank you, thank you. It's you I'm most grateful for. Thank you for sharing these videos. Thank you for becoming a subscriber. Thank you to those who are joining my membership program. I did a little changes with them also. You know, because I have a thank you. There's a couple different tiers. There's 4 tiers now. There's the fans club, then there's the super fans club, and then there's 2 other tiers. And one tier will give you an occasional, like an occasional invite to our live streams. And the top tier is you're always invited to the live streams, which I try to do once a week. So I have that. I do personal readings. All that information is below. Though I do ask you to have patience, because I do get booked up pretty quickly. I just thank you. I thank you for every single way you support my channel and me. Sometimes your comments just melt my heart. And I feel like your comments help others at the same time. So thank you also for your comments. All right. I love you guys. It's a weekend, so go have a great weekend. Get outside. Get into nature. I feel like that's where it starts. Put your feet on the grass. Hug a tree. I love you. I'll see you next time at our table. Bye-bye.